Welcome to this personal growth session this morning. Last week, we were looking at the 7 habits, doing a summary, completing what we were studying all through the weeks. And that is something that I truly believe is transformational. You continue to look for ways to apply it everywhere. Think of how can I be more proactive with my distributors, with my clients? How can I be more proactive? Then how can I begin with the end in mind? How can I put first things first? Continue to reflect on those questions, because the only way these things make sense to us is when we apply them. And you can't apply them until you ask yourself some questions that are going to help you to apply these things. So important. And then number 4 is seek first to understand before you are understood. So where do you need to grow in your understanding of other people? Then we talked about thinking win-win. How can I think win-win so that it's not always about me, but it's about us. All of us win. And then how can I do better in terms of working with others, what we call synergy? And how can I continually renew myself? How can I sharpen the saw? I think that is an ongoing conversation that we should always have at the back of our minds. And one of the things that we need generally in life is something that we call personal resilience. I kept trying to remember whether we've shared this, but I think it's okay. If we have, it is fine to do it again. If we haven't, it is still okay to learn it. So personal resilience. Resilience. What is resilience, if I may ask? Just type for me in the chat. What is your understanding of the term resilience? When you hear resilience, what comes to your mind? What is resilience? What is resilience? It is a word that we use quite commonly, but you were asked, what are your personal thoughts? What comes to your mind when you think about the word resilience? Resilience. What does it mean for you to be resilient? Okay, I'll just wait for at least one response, and then we'll carry on. What is resilience? Resilience. Okay, going once. Going twice. Okay, thank you so much. I see a comment in the chat. Okay, quite a number of them coming through now. All right, let me see. Tumaini says no surrender. Thank you, no surrender. So you don't surrender, okay? Joyce says inner strength. Okay, inner strength, right? And somebody there called B says it is the ability to adapt difficult situations. Ability to adapt difficult situations. It says being able to recover from difficulties. Yes, resilience, resilience. Something that is very critical in our business. Let me ask, where do you think we need resilience? Which specific part of our business do we need embrace resilience? Which specific area of our business do we need to embrace resilience? Where in our business? Thank you, Mom. I see being tough, okay? Where do we need to embrace resilience, or where do you need to be more resilient for that matter? Okay, Imarake says continuing to talk to people. All right, thank you. Someone there says when we face challenges. Okay. Thank you. Yes, so that is something that we always need to be thinking about. When we talk about resilience, we just need to realize that life is an obstacle. Life is not smooth. Just like you get on a road and you find there are speed bumps, you find there are red lights, you find there are those rough patches in the road, there are potholes. That is life for you. Life is not like when you get on the expressway, that smooth road which has no lights. It has no bumps, That's not how life is. Life is, hey, sharp bends, there are potholes, there are bad patches in the road, there are red lights, there are nails in the road that even cause you a flat tire sometimes. Life is not a straight path. Life has got its unique challenges, and at the end of the day, those who succeed at life are those who discover how to bounce back. And that ability to bounce back is what we are calling resilience. So Evelyn says bouncing back. That says ability to resist pressure. Ability to resist pressure. In fact, that's why you find that cars have something they call shock absorbers. Shock, like you hit a pothole and the car remains stable. So the shock absorbers that we need in life is resilience. Those are the shock absorbers that all of us need to have. And just like a car without shock absorbers wouldn't be comfortable. That is how life becomes uncomfortable when you have no shock absorbers. So the shock absorbers we need for life is resilience. Okay, Joshua says pressing on towards your goal. Resty says determination. Awesome. Great. So we are talking about building personal resilience. 5 Diamond there says resilient people utilize their resources and their strength. Thank you very much all for your contributions. Let's now get straight into the gist of what we are talking about. We have already talked about what resilience is. And as you can see, that man pushing those balls up that steep, I don't know what those could be for you. Maybe that could be doing your 4,000 points for you, a director. Maybe that could be taking that step to manager that looks like, oh my God, when is this thing? When are the 500 points ever going to accumulate? Reminds me of this distributor who came, started buying a few products, and in the 3rd month, she said, but by now, I'm manager. Said, what exactly do you mean? She said, because I've been buying products ever since I started. Every month I buy some products. I believe by now I should have accumulated. He said, no, this is how it works. And when she now realized what it is, she said, my God, I don't think I will ever do this. I think let me just use my products, and I settle for that. Thankfully, last month, she became a manager. Yeah, last month she became a manager. She could be on the call here. Yeah, that could be resilience for you. Maybe it is pushing that difficulty. I don't know what it is that you are pushing. Of course, in our business, we know that we have targets every month. And by the way, let me say this at this point in time. When you think about all these sessions that we are doing, personal growth, those 7 habits, let me tell you the truth. You don't learn them on this call. Okay, now, of course, you may be wondering, so what are we doing here? You don't learn these things on this call. It is like when you go to the lab, back in the day when we were doing some of those subjects like chemistry. You learn something in class, but for you to really get it, you have to go to the lab, mix those reagents, see how those chemicals behave when they mix. That's when you'll say, oh, so this is actually what we mean by a chemical reaction. Yes, in the same way we can come and define resilience, but let me tell you something, you will not get resilience by attending the Zoom meeting. You become resilient by practicing the things we teach on the call. So the next time you go and your customer says, excuse me, wait, is this JNLD? If it is, then I'm sorry, our meeting ends here. Now, your ability to get that positive mindset, smile at them and say, thank you so much for your time. Or maybe even ask a probing question. Have you had an experience? Is it something that I can help you to deal with? That is how you overcome. That is how you build resilience. It's just like building muscle. You don't build muscle by buying a book on how to work out. You build muscle. Yes, you might want to find out how to work out because there's actually a way you're supposed to do it. There are exercises that you have to do in the right way. So in that case, you need knowledge. You build muscle by going to the gym or putting on your workout clothes and you hit the road, you carry those weights. There is no shortcut to personal growth. So these are practical things. You learn how to be resilient by overcoming the challenges of life. So we've talked about what resilience is. And in a way that does not differ from what many of us have already shared, resilience is our ability to bounce back from life's challenges and unforeseen difficulties, providing mental protection from emotional and mental disorder. Let us unpack this a bit. Our ability. So it is an ability. You have to develop your ability. Bounce back from life's challenges. Life will hit you with some unexpected challenges. In fact, he goes ahead to say unforeseen difficulties. These are difficulties that you did not foresee. You wake up this morning, you're in a good vibe, you're in a good mood, you're going about your day, and then boom, something happens. You didn't see that coming. Okay? So, how do you bounce back? Now, when you talk about bouncing, and again, let's even first complete the definition. It says, your ability to bounce back from life's challenges and unforeseen difficulties, comma, what does it do? Providing mental protection from emotional and mental disorders. Now, why that last part of the sentence is critical is because we've had, during the COVID time, there was a lot of talk about mental health disorders, okay? Mental health. And partly what caused a lot of that is that the challenge of COVID was so huge that it found people without shock absorbers. So what happened? Mental disorder. You become depressed, okay? You just don't even know what to do with yourself. People even commit suicide. People kill themselves. People take their lives. People get on drugs. So that's why I was saying your ability to bounce back provides mental protection. It protects you mentally from emotional and mental disorders. We've heard of so many people undergoing emotional distress, stress, mental health challenges, largely because they lacked the shock absorbers that we are talking about. So the ability to bounce back from life's challenges and unforeseen difficulties that will provide you with mental protection from emotional and mental disorders. And let me also say at this point, that everybody has their own set of unique challenges. Everybody. While you are wondering how to qualify as a manager, a 5 diamond is also pushing 500,000 points. Okay. In fact, I painted a picture at month end. At month end, we are always in very interesting situations. While a manager is looking for 100 points, and for them 100 points, oh my God, 100 points. A senior manager is looking for 300 points to qualify. A director is wrestling with 1,000 points. A world team member is looking for 3,000 points. A president's team member might be looking for 20,000 points. So we all have our different challenges to deal with. So when you're dealing with yours, you might think it is the biggest until you look at what others are dealing with. So that is resilience. Okay. Now, the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties or mental toughness. Now, the key word there is recover quickly. Some people could recover after 1 month, and yeah, you would still have recovered. Another one might recover after 1 year. You know, for a whole year, you're going through this, and then you only bounce back after 2 years, or you bounce back after 1 year. But the difference now is how quickly can you get back in the game? I see this a lot when, in fact, that reminds me, next week I will play for you a video of this athlete who was running and she fell down. Now, you understand that when you're running in a wild race, when you fall down, your opponents have an advantage. But interestingly, when she fell down like this, she immediately picked herself up, caught up with the pack, and won that race. That is quite interesting. So she fell down, and immediately there was no time to say, but now how can I fall? There was no time. The race is going on, and the quicker you get back on your feet, the better. So she immediately got back, ran and caught up with the rest, and bypassed them. And she won that race. So the capacity to recover quickly. So let me ask, how quickly do you bounce back? When you encounter any challenge of any kind, How quickly? Do you spend the whole day telling people, oh, you know what happened the other day? When you sit down, all you talk about is what happened. You know, you recount, you tell everybody who cares to listen. Now, that is not getting back. Getting back quickly means you just put that aside and move on. So how quickly can you bounce back? So here we have two things. We have an egg. So again, of course, this one you don't even need to ask. When you throw an egg down, you don't even need to ask what happens. Okay? But there is another item there. That is what happens when you throw an egg down. It just crashes and crumbles. Okay? But the other thing is you can throw a tennis ball down and you can just see what happened. There you go. Throw the ball. You remember the song? Bounce the ball. Bounce the ball. Bounce the ball. Hi. What we were enjoying is bouncing the ball, but we don't know what the ball feels like. But the beauty about the ball is that when you throw it, it doesn't and splatter. No, the ball just bounces back, bounces back, bounce back, bounce back, bounce back. And someone said that you don't tell successful people by how high they rise. No, you tell successful people by how high they rise after they have hit the ground. Let me say that again. You don't tell successful people by how high they rise in life. No, you tell successful people by how high they rise after they have hit the bottom. So challenges and obstacles and difficulties are opportunities for us to build muscle of bouncing back, and which is what we are calling resilience. So the question is, are you a tennis ball or you are an egg? By the way, the choice is yours. Okay, no one was born like a tennis ball, no one was born like an egg. It is just the person. You can choose to complain, you can choose to blame, you can choose to throw a pity party. You see, for me, and we have all these things. I mean, someone might say, you see, for me, I'm old. You know how they expect me to do this business. Then another one will say, but me, I'm too young. Then another one will say, but me, I didn't go to school. I cannot speak the kind of English that you people speak. Then another one will say, but me, I cannot speak Uganda. Now, how do we talk to these other people? Do you realize that, you know, your advantage might be someone's disadvantage? At the end of the day, are you like a tennis ball or you are like the answer lies squarely with you. So this is what we are calling resilience. Resilience is being like a tennis ball. Throw the ball, it bounces back. How quickly do you bounce back? How quickly do you bounce back? In mechanical engineering, when I went to engineering school, we had something called downtime. Downtime. So downtime is the time you spend down, as simple as it sounds. Okay, downtime is like if there is no power, okay, so there is no production. So because there's no production, nothing is happening in the plant, nothing is happening in the factory. So now that is downtime. We are down because there is no power. So the question is, how long do you spend down? How long do you spend down? The ability to get back in the game. In fact, sometimes when I'm watching a game, sometimes I take some time to watch a few games like soccer. I notice that when a team concedes a goal, the quicker they bounce back in the game. If they don't bounce back quickly, they will concede another one. So the moment you concede a goal, now don't say, now, you goalkeeper, where are you facing? Bring the ball back in the center and immediately attack the other team. Otherwise, if you start throwing the pity party and wondering what went wrong, you will concede another one. You will consider another one. So, are you like a tennis ball or you are like resilient? Okay, so here is a statement that the difference between success and failure is mental toughness. Then the English people say period. So the difference between success and failure is mental toughness, mental strength, mental toughness. You have to be mentally strong. That means that, yes, you fail at something, maybe something happens and you say, it's okay, move on. We can't be the kind of people that give up easily. And you see, and that's why I'm saying that this business here is probably one of the best projects personal development. Yes, because that month end period is the time when you see who is who. That is the time when you rise to the surface. There are people who say, let me wait for next month. There are people who, I will push no matter what. Now that is mental toughness. I will make it no matter what. And by the way, life is interesting. That when your mind is made up like that, opportunities come. That's why they say when the teacher is ready, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Yeah, when you are ready, when you have that mindset of this is the time, it's either now or never. The moment you have that kind of mindset, now you begin to see what you didn't see. If I can take you slightly to the book of faith, the Bible. Some of you will remember when God told Abraham, take your son, your only son Isaac, take him to this mountain and sacrifice him. And he did not hold back. Carried the boy, of course he took the boy, he could walk by himself, and he even carried some firewood, then he even took the knife. So he goes and puts him on the altar, and Abraham raises his knife. And in his heart of hearts, he knew, I am going to sacrifice my son. This is not a joking subject. This is serious business. And the minute he got the knife, put it up, and God saw this man was serious. He said, stop, don't hurt the boy. Then he looked around and he said, there is a ram, sacrifice it instead. You see, I don't think Abraham would have seen the ram if he was not ready to sacrifice Isaac. I don't think so. So in other words, you'll only see the opportunity when you're ready to give it your all. That's the point I'm belaboring to explain. That the difference between success and failure is mental toughness. How tough are you mentally? In fact, sometimes when, again, I'll put you back in the realm of sports, when you look at a race like the Olympics final, it is not about ability. All of them are good. That time, it is mental toughness. Who is mentally strong? Who believes? Some of them even have a slow start, but by the middle of the race, they're like, you know what? I've not come to die. I must win this thing. And they bounce back and they win it. Sometimes by a fraction of a second, but they win it. The difference between success and failure is mental toughness. We have to be mentally strong if we are going to become world team members and PTs. You can't be a PT if you are wimpy. You can't be something significant. And it happens. I mean, if you look around yourself, if you look at the people who have made it in other areas of life, in politics, in other business, in whatever, it is mental toughness. Someone tells you, I lost my parents when I was still young. But that is the day I decided I'm going to grow up. I lost everything, but I never gave up. Those are the stories we hear. That is the difference. That is what we call mental strength. That is mental toughness. Those are the shock absorbers you need if you're going to go through life. So Martin Luther King Jr. said something that I think is worthy of reflection. He said, the ultimate measure of a man or woman is not where he or she stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he or she stands at times of challenge and controversy. In other words, any Tom, Dick, and Harry is happy on a good day. I mean, when people are buying, you're sponsoring, yeah, life is good. The ultimate measure of a man is not where you stand in moments of comfort and convenience. It's not where you are when things are good. It is where you stand when there are challenges and there is controversy. We need to see you. In fact, someone was asked, so like the way you can be having a conversation, you say, but you know this person. Then the person says, yeah, I know him, but I can't quite tell you if I know him that well. Then he added, because I have never seen him. I have never seen how he responds to a challenge. Do you understand? What this person is saying is that you will never know someone until they go through a challenge. That is when the true you comes. Here we can't be in training, we are smiling, we are, life is good. But when life goes south, now that is the true you. You will probably remember another parable where Jesus said there were two men, one built a house. In fact, both built houses. One was on rock, another one was on sand. Okay? In good, fine weather, no rain, no nothing, just good sunshine, good weather, no strong winds. Yeah, both houses were habitable. They could both live in them. But the day the storms of life came, that is when we knew who built on sand and who built on rock. That is the same thing. But in life, it will not always be good, fine weather. Otherwise, all of us are happy with a good attitude on a good day. The question is not your attitude on a good day, because anyone can have a good attitude on a good day. The question is, how many will have a good attitude? That is mental. That is resilience. Those are the shock absorbers. That's what we are talking about. So let me look at this last part, and then we shall finish for today, and then we shall pick it up from here next time. So why is resilience important? Many things we have talked about. First of all, it prepares us for life's inevitable challenges, and you can be sure. That's why they sell insurance. They don't sell insurance because things have already happened. They say, in case. So resilience is like your insurance against obstacles. That's why they put shock absorber, so that in case you get on a bad road, your car is safe. So are you insured with the shock absorber of insurance, of resilience? So it prepares us for life's inevitable challenges. And how do you build it? You go through life, you go through the things we have been talking about, and we shall be talking about that next time. Secondly, you become more productive. Resilience, you reduce downtime. This business of spending 1 month, 1 month you're getting over what happened 2 months ago. No, you become more productive. You become more productive. Get up and get moving quickly. We don't have time. Number 3, you maximize opportunity. You maximize opportunities. Yeah, while people are there, wondering what happened, you are moving forward, because for you, the shock absorbers are working. When someone says, can you imagine? You don't have time to say what happened, to imagine what happened. You are already moving, maximize opportunities. How could I not make it last month? You are already working to qualify this month. Okay. It enables you to support others, because you cannot help other people if you have not helped yourself. So when your distributors come to you and they are saying, today has been the worst, you'll say, don't mind. You know what happened to me yesterday? Number 5, you reduce burnout and avoid depression. And we talked about that. It is the protection from mental disorders or emotional distress. And number 6, you build better. So that is resilience. What are you taking away today? Just type for me something. Type for me something like what is going on in your mind. Let's just have a brief reflection before we close. You're taking away what is, tell me, where are you? What is your highlight? Just tell me something about what you've had today, what has stood out, and then we pray and we close. Okay, sorry, I can see a number of people were saying they couldn't hear anything, but I hope we were resilient enough to listen. Okay, let me just say, okay, thank you so much, mom. Never give up. The Gayaza anthem. No, the Gayaza motto. Never give up. Okay. Okay, I need to prepare my mind for uncertainties. Thank you. And they happen. I mean, there are many. Right. Reduce laziness. In fact, that one we need to eliminate. They need to be resilient. Okay, someone there called it resilience. I have to develop a thick skin. Thank you. A hard skin. A hard skin. Yeah. A tennis ball from now onwards. Yeah. No being eggs here. The moment things happen, just bounce back quickly and move on. That's part of life. Okay. Mental toughness is a must for each person with dreams or challenges and will always come. It is a requirement and a necessity. Juliana says we should all be resilient, bounce back from hard situations. Listen says keeping a positive attitude I need to improve on my mental toughness. Yes. And next week, we shall be looking at what are some of the things you can do to build mental strength. It's been just a brief on resilience. I hope that we begin to think whenever you go through a challenge, look at it as an opportunity to build resilience. Don't cry about it. Find a way to solve it. If you cannot solve it, move on. And don't keep telling people what happened, because that's just, you're attracting sympathy. And life does not reward you for that. The quicker you move on, the better. I'll pause here and then we shall pray. Thank you, Dr. Cesar. I see acquiring resilience takes consistent practice over a long time. Thank you. So we shall close it here. Thank you, Lord, for this moment that we've had to learn. I pray that you will help us to be mentally tough, and we shall have the ability to bounce back in the midst of in whatever we face. And as we build this business, we know that there are many kinds of challenges and difficulties, but help us to be the kind of people that will rise above them. Give you thanks and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen. Have a good day and all the best.